Welcome to Factorio Brave New World recap number 6. My name is Nilaus. This is, well, as I said, the recap number 6 for the 6th week of Factorio Brave New World. This happens over on my Twitch channel, so if you want to see this live, I'm streaming it Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8 p.m. Central European Time over on Twitch. The address is twitch.tv/Nilaus. Should be easy to remember. Do come on over, it's really fun. So this is the point where we left off at the end of the last week, just to sort of summarize and set the stage for where we are. Now, we were starting on working on this big thing. We got the plastic, green circuits, and copper plate coming in for a future very big red circuit build. But the first thing I realized was all of this wasted space here. And since space is money, then I decided that I actually wanted to move everything just 2 power poles over. That took a while, to say the least. But the objective here is now continuing on our outsourced centralized build, so that becomes red circuits, and further down the line steel, and then as well as that, looking at some of the routing of the trains, because that becomes more and more of a hassle. So let's jump forward and see what happened in the first stream of the week. All right, here we are. We are now after, this is episode 15, so that's about 60 hours into this playthrough. We are down here. We have built a pretty damn awesome red circuit build, which after we've upgraded to 0.28 is no longer going to be called red circuit. It's going to be called orange circuits. I don't know why that decision has been made. I know they're red, but all this yellow wiring makes it orange circuits. I don't know. I don't feel like comfortable calling it orange circuits, but it seems like that's the thing now. So what I'm doing is I'm building all of these belts in here, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I really like this way. It's very crisp and clear on how these are split. And what I'm seeing here is going in. This is the build. It's super efficient. And what it does is it takes 22 plastic, 22 green circuits, and I guess about 16 copper goes in. First, the copper gets made into one full blue lane actually, of copper wires. And then this one will be a split belt. I am doing this part to make absolutely sure that they will pick it up at reasonable speeds. They'll be put it out. I'm actually putting it out on both sides. It isn't technically needed to put it out on, well, it is actually needed, because this one is producing 15.4 red circuits per second, and if I only put it on one side, it would be 15.0 stuck, and then I'd actually be wasting some. So 15.4, it's still something. Goes in here and gets turned into just balanced and goes out. All these belts, they will then go into, God, I hate the orange. Yeah, so it threw me off there. So it goes into a train. This is a problem, and I'm going to fix that because right now it's actually only one belt that goes in here and gets spread out. So I'm going to do something with these belts here so that I can get 2 full lanes out, because these 6 are producing 15, 15, 15. That's one belt. 14, 15, 15 is one belt. So slightly more than 2 belts full. So no point in just only putting one belt in here. But it's built. It's going up. But the routing has not been done yet. So that's where we did that. It took a bit of time to remove these over. You can see that they're more in line with these belts here, the tracks. Aside from this, we're ready to do some more expansion as well, and that's where we're going to take a look at. And after the next stream. Here we are after the next stream. What you can see is happening is first of all, we are now clearing out the space around. We've used the artillery to clear out a lot of space so we get a better sense of the surroundings. Basically, we have this giant lake thing, and we also have a big lake over here and a big lake. The lakes are basically a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it keeps spiders away, but on the other hand, pollution just spreads way too fast across the ponds here, and I can't really do anything about it. So that's water is really not that great. What we are also starting to build is a great upscaling of our nuclear power plants. You have them down here, and the next ones are built. These are just working slowly, being built. So we want each one of these is producing 480, and since I have 10 of those, so it's 4.8 gigawatts of power this one will produce. And if I need more, I can just build that, copy paste it down here. Now, what I should mention is this is a grid that looks like this, very simple, and it has the optimal number of turbines. So it has more than the optimal number of the heat exchangers, but that's because otherwise I can't keep the turbines running at full speed. And this, it's all working, it's good, everything is happy, and nothing is wrong with this. There will be some people who go like, no, you're wasting materials, you should build, instead of 2x2s, you should build like 2x4s or 2x8s or what. Anyway, right? The thing is, the only difference, the majority of the space here is taken up by turbines and heat exchangers. If I have a nuclear power setup that has more cores, I'm going to be needing more turbines and heat exchangers, because the turbines and heat exchangers scale with the output. And in that case, so the only reason I would make a 2x3 or 2x4 instead of a 2x2 is because it will save me a tiny bit of space. That's never it's inconsequential, but it'll also save me some materials. Now the thing is with the materials, it is absolutely trivial the amount of uranium this is using. If you look at my base here, I'm chugging along on this one. I'm eating it all I can. It's converting, but I mean, I have 4,800. It's stuck. This is idle. This one has 2,000. It's idle. Well, not quite 2,000, but it's getting there. I have 1.87 million here. I have 7.1 million. I have 6.1 million. I have 9.3, 11 million. There's no way I can even, no matter how inefficient I am, can use all of the uranium. So I actually prefer, and I think I will, moving forward, I will be making small nuclear power plants that I can stamp down. And I think that's actually easy. It's easier to manage with the water coming in instead of things become really unwieldy and long heat pipes as well. It's something to keep in mind. So we have our red circuits building. The red circuits are somehow here sneaking in up here, and now going in on this belt, which goes in and feeds into the bus. The bus is working. I mean, every time, the whole thing I'm doing now is just basically taking what is not really working very well and then upgrading that. So next one is obviously going to be steel, and then it's obviously going to be low density structures. So those are the things that we want to focus on. You can see that at the end of the stream, I already started putting down the steel and have started with expanding the landfill out into the lake, because I want the steel, iron, copper, plastic, like some of my main products, they are just made on a line. I don't know if it's a good idea, but that's how I do it. So maybe I'll even build something else out here. I don't know what that would be, but it could be something. So that's how it is now, and let's jump forward to the next one, last stream of the week, to see what we've been building there. So here we are. This is the last stream. Maybe before we dive in, I should explain this weird little triangle. So we have these two spawned location. This one started as 1 million. This one also started at 1 million. They are set up from, or they're coming from the resource field spawning. And instead of making a train pathing over to such a small location, then I've decided I'm simply just going to bring it in and then deal with it from there. And the same with this one. These here are being brought up to just double fill this station, so that when a train comes in, these materials will also be placed there. It's pretty simple. I should do the same for this one, but I'm not. You can see that's actually filling up my boxes here. My intention was that I wanted to fill up these, but I can see that currently I'm just not consuming fast enough. Just not consuming coal fast enough, because there's a bit of an issue in our hub right now. But that's something we'll deal with. So basically what we have now is we have our red circuits, I mean our goddamn orange circuits, grumble, grumble, grumble. Orange circuits, yeah, that's the thing now. We have our steel coming here. The steel is being fed. This steel build is actually being fed by iron. Iron plates come in from the iron plate facility, goes into steel. You can see this is not actually very good because steel is kind of, yeah, very compressed material. So I won't even be having a full belt here. And even though I'm building out 2, it's just nicer to put it out here. This one is filling up, fills up to 32, goes back into, well, we can just hit you right and pretend it's full. Oh, do it this way, and then go to the hub, and then go here and zoom in. So we can just ride the train on the way back just to see both the very convoluted train pathing we have to deal with here to fit things in, because the tracks were not planned out in advance. That means it's just become a complete garbage, but it is what it is, and we'll deal with it. So here we have lots and lots of steel, certainly feeding our hub adequately. The reason why everything is stuck is because of lubricant, but we'll deal with that in the next stream. So if you're joining the stream, then do remind me to take a look at the lubricant. It also tells me that you actually watched this video. Ha, interesting. Right, and what else are we doing? We have now started scheduling, or started routing some more in. Find out that this part, the next one we need, is going to be low density structures. That's very hard to make, and it takes a long time. So we built a little template here. This one has been built. It's not very good. The irony of this is that it is actually taken 2 full lanes of copper inbound, and it is as efficient as we can make it. But the output is absolutely nothing. I mean, I can just do a calculation. I think we, how many do we have? We have 16 of those. Yeah, it produces 1.4 every 20 seconds times 16. Yeah. No, that can't be right. Times the productivity, or times the speed, right? It's 5.5. Yes. Times 5.5. Yes. Okay, so this produces 6.16 low density structure per second. That means all of this thing here, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, will, at the best of cases, which isn't even going to be feasible with the low amount of, oh yeah, this one is currently taking 1 train and going out as 2 belts, but I think it's got to be 1 train going out as 4 belts plus 4 plus 4, which means I get a 12 splitter here. The 12 splitter goes from 12 to 12, if that can be done, and then it goes in here. That will then, all in all, provide 36 low density structure per second, which is nothing. It's not even a full belt, not even a single full belt, and then it'll go out on a belt, and then we'll deal with it from there. However, as you can see, plastic is coming in here. It's not great, this plastic, but it's gotta be there, right? So I've just started building things, but I've not really just done all of it yet. Here we also have the steel. The steel needs to be on this belt, because this is where steel goes into the hub. So making this one continue is like the only reasonable thing. However, there's a lot of cleanup. So we need to make room for this belt, this train to come through. And this one is right. We need to make a better intersection here. That's something that hasn't been solved. And we need to build the plastic to be done. We need to build the 12 to 12 splitters. We need to build the low density structure. After the low density structure, we have to figure out what the hell are we going to do with it. And I think the answer is we probably won't make another train in here, because I don't think that's sufficient. Because it'll just be a large number of tracks for very little gain. So instead, I think I would like to bring it in by robots. But we'll see what comes along when we get there. Anyway, that's where we are at the current state of affairs in this setup. If you want to join, I hope that you will. It's so much more fun to watch these kind of things live than it's to watch it sort of after the fact. So if you have at all any possibility, do come on over to our little Twitch community. The address is twitch.tv/Nidos, and I'm streaming this Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays pretty much every week. So do check it out. And if you miss it, there's also VODs over on Twitch, so do check those out if you want to. Or you can follow this summary. Time to wrap up and head into the next stream. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay effective.